Okay, so perfect timing though, we're about to have lunch. Okay, so the last thing I want to cover off on before lunch is talking about when would you see a intra-articular swelling. So, I had a gentleman come in to see me. He played a social sport, social netball. He was almost at the end of the game. He came down, he sort of felt like he landed awkwardly on his knee and it felt awkward. He had pain at the time, but he continued to play because it was just about to finish and he wasn't in a very mobile position. So he just stayed on. He played the last few minutes, but by the time he walked from the sporting venue into the car park to his car, his knee was quite swollen and it was sore. Okay? So when I saw him the next day, he had moderate swelling of his knee and he had a positive patella tap. So there are limited things that can give you an intra-articular swelling of the knee. What are our top four? Potentially peripheral portion of the meniscus.
The tap test, does it also intra-articular swelling?
Yes.
Okay. UCL.
ACL. Good.
MCL.
No. No.
MPFL.
No, still. But what happens when you break your MPFL? Yeah, patella dislocation. Yes. Yes. What else? Fracture.
Concussion.
That's it. That's our four. He's done. Okay.
Which four again? ACL,
ACL, patella dislocation, fracture, peripheral meniscus. Okay, they're your four that we're going to give you significant intra-articular swelling of the knee joint. So in this case study, this is his MRI of the fellow that I was just saying to you, and he had an undisplaced fracture of the posterolateral proximal tibia. So he landed in a weird position and compressed the posterolateral corner of his knee. Moderate extensive adjacent bone swelling. Okay? So that is the scenario, those four scenarios. If you have someone that comes to you and has a large effusion, intra-articular, it's going to narrow down your diagnoses very quickly because there are not many things that can actually give you that amount of swelling. So with an intra-articular edema and those four diagnoses, you're probably in a situation where you would want to have imaging for that person because for all of those things you pretty much want to know what's going on, or you want to exclude the ones that you don't have to know what's going on. So patella dislocation is the first differential diagnosis for ACL. You know how we were talking about subjective and what happened to your knee, and we all said sometimes you just don't know what happened. It happened so fast. I fell on my knee, I twisted, felt like my knee came in and out, feels unstable and really swollen now. That could be a patella dislocation or it could be an ACL, and both are going to give you an intra-articular edema like that. So that is actually the biggest differential diagnosis of those two. Okay, so lunchtime. We'll come back and do some more practical movement testing.